Hello, I am Wonju in Department of Management Engineering, Sangmyeong University Graduate School. In this paper, I will present the result of the software developers' research on marketing strategy through marketplace held by cloud service providers. Here are the topics I'm going to talk about today, in addition to the background, motivation, and the purpose of this study. I will introduce the difference between the previous study and my study. Through the research methodology, research methods were defined and the cloud service providers at home and abroad were analyzed. In addition, we will present a conclusion along with this research result. The cloud market today is worth $21 billion as a predict. In Korea, not only local operators but also various global cloud operators compete with each other to secure customers with various functions, and the partner companies have their own partner ecosystem. This growth in the cloud market is not only critical to cloud infrastructure but also to the software and the apps that run on it and to partner ecosystem that generate revenue and create customers. The way software developers sell their service to variety of customers is not direct sales method, but rather marketplace owned by cloud service providers and their partners, so that they can get sales and customer in more effective and diverse way. In the cloud ecosystem, I would like to present a method for selecting the most suitable business operators by analyzing their strengths through each CSP through SWOT. The scope of this study analyzed the procedures and policy for independent software developers develop ES based on service to register in marketplace provided by each cloud service provider at home and abroad. Select a marketplace suitable for their software present service item to be provided to user and ways to increase sales through marketplace utilization models. Through prior research, various software marketing and marketplace were analyzed domestic software strategies for overseas expansion. Case study of cloud system using platform was confirmed and existing software was now registered as a marketplace based on SaaS-based software. IT affiliate of through the system integrated service provider is based on the company's business system. It has established the dependent external cooperative infrastructure, but this is a closely dependent integration shifted too much to the needs of majors, reduces bargaining power to cost and dependence on specific service providers. It can lead to an increase in operation risk and from a service provider's point of view, increase in SPC due to redundant investment and dependency on specific consumers. The methodology for this study is as following. The scope of this research was selected based on the purpose of the research and the service provider was selected. Next, data from CSP was collected, analyzed by each service and analyzed together with domestic and foreign cases. Based on research, the differences were derived through SWOT analyzing. As a research, I will suggest how to register marketplace strategy and ways to utilize it. Case study: domestic and foreign cloud service marketplace were investigated and registered categories and service type were analyzed. As a domestic cloud service provider, we analyzed the marketplace called Kate Neighbor and SIA operated by the country and analyzed Amazon Web Services as a foreign service provider. Case study 1, Kate Cloud. Azure made a domestic cloud service provider 65 services and solutions were provided in the category below through its own marketplace. The service will be provided to customers who apply through Kate Cloud Marketplace in a virtual machine format, and the cost of use will be charged in combination with Kate Cloud charges. And the technical support will provide directly by each solution. It has a large number of customers in all domestic business, has a strength in public and institutional cloud service, and has a large number of small and medium-sized corporate customers in Korea. There are 65 services registered in Marketplace, and it has many partners in Korea. However, there is a lack of expertise in infrastructure support and technical support when entering overseas market. Case study 2, SIA. It is a cloud services tool that can search, select, use various cloud-based services in Korea in one place, and it means to become a seed and support to expansion of cloud market and the development of cloud-based national society. It is marketplace created for the purpose of service for public institutions in Korea and has a little support for overseas service cloud. This feature is most advantageous, disadvantageous, and exclusive and unique market price for public service customers. Case study 3, Naver Cloud Platform. As a local cloud service provider, it provides its customers with marketplaces that are divided into software type, registered their cloud service enable based on cloud platform to normal operation. Multiple registration is about solution and service of the same function, restricted policy. It provides service for public institutions as well as domestic ones and still has a fewer shortcomings than its competitors in the number of services and partners. Overseas services are also less competitive. Case study 4, AWS. It is major overseas cloud service provider and the largest public service provider in the world. Total 7,213 service solutions registered in 7 categories in the marketplace. In Korea, many game companies, startups, and developers has the largest number of customers and partners for them. Although there are still difficulty in providing service to public institutions due to domestic regulation and restrict, they will gradually improve, and their registration and distribution of marketplace must be considered for overseas expansion. Registration by market type is uploaded. Marketplace provided by cloud service provider may be registered with service solution developed in a form that meets its operation requirement. It is divided in 2 ways and can be registered as a virtual server image and as a service type software. Image upload method cloud service provider convert to a machine image format that meets requirements and policy registered with marketplace, categorize the details and technical support item, and register directly by users of support registration procedures through dedicated portal for each other service provider. SaaS service registration by marketplace. For Amazon Web Services, SaaS container software registration is provided. In order to register the server, the API for communication with the function of AWS after registering, the price policy separately is required, and additional development element and required to configuration to identify registration and registration token necessary for the approval process. Research result: the use of cloud marketplace has a great advantage in overcoming physical and technical limitation. The main advantage is that this restriction can be minimized and that they can be managed more easily than existing sales channels. In addition, direct marketing activities are possible for each cloud service user while minimizing separate infrastructure and manpower when entering overseas market. In other cloud operators can easily conduct promotional and marketing activities through exhibitions and target seminars held in each region, and the parts of charging back and payment are integrated and managed to attract customers in various forms of overseas. It is possible to provide technical support services that are suitable for the local environment through partners of local cloud operators. On the other hand, the customized provisioning and technical support for each element required by consumer is limited. Depending on the purchase and use of the marketplace, it is difficult to secure user of other cloud vendor, and the same registration process should be done for other cloud operator. Marketplace. In addition, technical support, consultation, and immediately response through local cloud service partner can be difficult. Response to local registration and role are also to be considered. It is also important to confirm that service that deviate from environment provided by registered cloud service provider may be restricted depending on how data is stored and collecting, because quality of service can be reduced due to degradation of host machine in multi-cloud environments where data traffic is concentrated or user access is concentrated. Service architectures etc. should also actively utilize the main function of registered cloud service to identify functional degradation factor that can occur in unpredictable switchover. At this time, it is also necessary to establish the latent policy that can be flexible used for the cost effectiveness of infrastructure used through the improvement of additional functions through architecture etc. In addition, the migration of user data for solution services should be fully reviewed to ensure strategy support for the transfer and compatibility of the other cloud services. Based on the SWOT matrix established earlier, the internal environment factors that weakness and supplemented, and the strong factor are strengthened by individual analysis matches for each cloud service provider, and apply the strategy of maximizing the opportunity factor while eliminating the external environment as much as possible. In addition, priorities are established for each combination of strategy referring to each cloud marketplace as a criterion for selecting it. Cloud company has changed its distribution approach from software development to development in addition to its own cloud service and solution provided by service provider. Developers can distribute registered services through cloud marketplace. The selection criteria are clear even if a software developer is required to select a CSP that is essential for specific industry, especially those that are characterized by public or CSP, and service provider that support a variant for function of overseas development and distribution. In addition, CSP, which has various customer and technical support, can also be criterion of choice. Conclusion: it can secure more customer cases, secure compatibility based on where it has secured competent partners, and secure strengths in finance, healthcare, and public, which are classified as major regulatory industry in Korea. However, if it is necessary to provide overseas service due to weakness in the construction of overseas service infrastructure and service provision, it is necessary to check the service level for target area. In the case overseas operator, the advantage of providing service to a wide range of foreign and global audience and the ease of being offered to many cloud users through customer example and the ability to access to market using many customer and partner ecosystem. While the need for hybrid configuration may be made by linking separate architecture or additional service to financial, public, and medical sectors. The limitation of this study was that each cloud provider did not allow registration for all operations and did not take into account policy that restrict redundancy and specific service solution, and that the market size for each cloud service provider could not be identified through competitiveness of each service or size of revenue. The made it difficult to establish the quantitative indicator according to usage pattern of customer for each cloud service provider. Thank you.